confused. I'm confused. I'm confused. Hey guys, this is Mitchell and Brianna here, following up to a couple of our videos where we gave tiny house tours of our tiny house. We had a lot of questions in the comments that we figured we would answer for you guys. We've commented back on most people's, but we figured that a video would kind of answer everyone's question at one time.
Yes, and we apologize if our camera work made you sick.
We
got a couple people that were like, your videos are awesome, but you're making me nauseous. So we apologize for that, and maybe we can try to fix that in the future. I don't know. So we had like a ton of questions, and we just like sifted through them and kind of picked some that we thought people were asking over and over and over again. So we've got like 6 or 7 here that we're gonna answer for you guys. So I'm just gonna get started. So the first question is, where did you get your tiny house?
Okay, we got our tiny house from a local group of Mennonites that build sheds and storage buildings. It's called Valley Barn Builders. They're in Sparta, Tennessee. And we went in to their store. They had different little manuals that we could flip through that had paint colors, different window styles, different doors, and we got to pick and choose. We actually drew out the floor plan of our tiny house with dimensions and where we wanted our windows. So when we took that in, we picked a size of the shed that we wanted them to build, which was 14 feet wide by 24 feet long, and where we wanted our windows and doors. They framed the walls on 16-inch centers, so just like a normal house would be built. Normally sheds, like you would get at Lowe's or Home Depot, they are on 24-inch centers, so those, you could still technically build a tiny house with it, but we wanted it built on 16-inch centers like a house would be for structural integrity. So that was...
Well put. Okay. Was the shed just a shell, or did you buy it finished out? It was just a shell. And like, I don't know if very many people had really taken their sheds in the past and done that. I think he said like maybe a couple people had done that in the past. So yeah, it was just a shell, and then we finished out the inside with help from friends and all kinds of stuff. The second question is, where do you live and how did you find land so inexpensive? We just got really lucky, I guess.
We did.
We got super lucky.
We live in Tennessee, and we posted, I think, there's a local website called Local Sales Network, and it's like Craigslist kind of. You can post ads and buy and sell things, and we posted an ad looking for a piece of land. And after probably 10 or 15 different people messaged us, we found one that sounded interesting, so we went and looked at it, and that is the piece of land we ended up purchasing. We paid $4,500, and we got about 4/10 of an acre, so not quite a half an acre, but we're surrounded by another farm that is much bigger, so it doesn't really feel as small as it is.
Yeah, it feels like all of the land around us is ours, even though it's not. But
it's not.
We pretend it is.
We pretend it is.
How did you find land so inexpensive? It was just luck of the draw. Like the guy had contacted Mitchell, and it was so funny because I remember being like, call him, and you like weren't going to. Like I was like, what is wrong with you? I was like, call that guy.
I guess one of the reasons we get it so cheap is because there was a burned down double wide trailer. We have another video up from start to finish of our tiny house build and tiny land, and
it shows like the progress of taking all of it down and kind of getting everything cleaned off.
I think we paid about $1,500, maybe close to $2,000 to have the trailer removed. We had to rent a backhoe for a week, which was $1,300, and we paid someone to come out and work pretty much all day, every day, and then toward the end of the week we helped out when we could and got the trailer removed, and so that was a big probably part of why we got the land as cheap as we did.
Yeah, it was a lot of work. There were like over 100 tires
I don't know why there were tires.
I don't know. It was insane.
Bad.
It was really bad. But when we came here and like even though we saw the burnt down trailer, the sun was setting and it was super, just like really peaceful and really awesome. And I think that we saw the vision for it, and so I think that's why we wrote the man a check. So.
Yep.
Okay, what was the total cost of everything? And I'm going to let you just run away with this one because I feel like he dealt with the financial side of things.
The total cost with the land was probably, I guess we're close to $30,000, between 27 and 30. I think the shell was about $8,500, the land $4,500 plus probably $2,000 to have it cleaned up. And then another $5,000 to finish it out. All of the wall paneling, the floors, things like that. We probably have another $2,000 in appliances. And then we did hire labor to do a few things like plumbing and electrical, and had some help putting up the ceiling and the trim and things like that. Mm-hmm. So,
and I feel like I wouldn't say we did it as cheap as possible, but at the same time, we really did. Like, we tried to do it as cheap as we possibly could without hurting.
As cheaply as possible, and it still looked nice.
It still looked nice. Yeah, we didn't want it to look. We wanted it to be like home.
And we did not do all of the work ourselves. We had a lot of help from some key people that.
Because we didn't know anything. Like. we didn't know the very beginning of anything. We had to have help with everything, but I feel like we learned a lot.
Yeah, we did. And we had, like, my dad came out and we had to dig underground electrical. There was electrical on site, but we had to run cable from the pole to the tiny house, and we did all of that underground. So that was another... my dad helped out on that, so that was really nice.
Yeah, I think we were blessed to have a lot of people around us that we already knew, like friends and stuff that were kind of already got the hang of that. Like we met a guy named Randy, and he was just awesome to us, and he did all of our electrical work for us and plumbing and our wall. Like he framed out the wall. I don't know if you can see it.
The bathroom wall.
Yeah, the bathroom wall there, and the little laundry room. Mm-hmm. So that was super helpful. And that actually leads into the next question. You were talking about the electrical. Yes. Someone asked if we were off the grid. No, we wanted to be. We talked about it.
I didn't necessarily want to be. If it had to be, I guess that would be possible. Right. Eventually, we would still maybe like to get solar. Mm-hmm.
It almost felt at the time more expensive to be off the grid. Like we couldn't afford it.
Luckily, the land that we bought, since there was a trailer on it that burned down, there was already a septic tank in the backyard. Mm-hmm. So that saved us probably $2,500 at least. We have city water, I guess, and electrical. And we also have internet through a local telephone cooperative.
Yeah.
That was one of the questions.
Someone was asking if we had Wi-Fi, and some people were asking where the TV was. We haven't watched TV in years, but we do have Netflix and things like that on our computer, and of course we watch YouTube or whatever. So we don't feel like we don't have a TV. We're not cut off from the world by any stretch of the imagination.
I guess depending on where anyone would buy their land, you could potentially have to do satellite internet or no internet. We are only about 8 miles outside of a fairly good sized city. So luckily there's people that live out this way that they had to provide internet to, so we have DSL internet.
Yeah. Okay. How long did it take from start to move-in time? We bought the land
in October.
Of 2014. Yeah. We were able to luckily pay for the land outright, and I wanted to be in by spring.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
Yeah, that didn't happen. And so we bought the land in October, and then we
started work on it pretty shortly.
Yeah. And then we actually went into Valley Barn Builders, and we gave them our floor plan in January. December.
In December. It took us about a year, about 13 months actually, to finish out the tiny house. We didn't really get started on it until after winter, which was probably about April. We started having the electrical.
Freezing.
It was really cold.
It was really cold.
So we had the electrical and stuff put in over the summer, the electrical and plumbing. And then in the fall, we started getting the wallboards up and
like, I feel like we would have been done a lot sooner had we have had, like, you know, tons of money to just, like, get it done. Like,
we would do
we
things
were working.
we could do.
Yeah, we were working, and then we would, you know, have something finished, and then we just, like, kept going. And then there came a time where we just, like, literally threw all of our money into the tiny house bank, and that was that.
Yeah, it took a lot longer than we, I guess, wanted.
Yeah, it did. But it was perfect timing when we got here, I feel like.
But I feel like for never having done it a little over a year was pretty reasonable.
Yeah. I think so.
So.
Yeah. Okay.
It wasn't too bad.
Okay, so the very last question is, where do you eat? Like, everyone's like, where's your table? We were going to have a table.
We were.
Okay, so when we started to get rid of all of the stuff out of our apartment, we got rid of our table and chairs, and we started to eat at our, like, little living room table.
Coffee table.
I don't think you can see it in the video.
It's in one of the other videos.
But yeah, if you go to the other videos, you'll see our little coffee table, and we have, like, a Zafu that we love to sit on, which we need another one for, you know, both of us.
It's like a buckwheat pillow.
Yeah. So we started sitting on the floor around that little table after we got rid of our other table, and we just, like, really enjoyed that. Like, we were, like, sitting cross-legged and, like, you know, spreading our meal out and just, like, sitting there, and, like, it just felt good to sit on the floor. And so when we got in here, we talked about doing a table and everything, and then, like, I was like, you know what? Like, I always enjoyed sitting on the floor anyway. So that's fine.
We could sit on the couch.
With me. Yeah, I mean, we can really sit anywhere, but if we want to sit at a table, like, that's where we go.
We also have a new desk.
We do. We'll have to do another. We'll have to do another video on that.
So we could eat there. Like, I've eaten breakfast at the desk before.
Yeah.
And we've also had friends over, and we move our big chairs around the coffee table and put like cheese and crackers and fruit and stuff on the table, like, and it works even for a couple of other people.
Yeah, so. And then some people, and we have room for a table. Like, if you know, like, a traditional person really wanted to have a table, then you can make it happen in this square footage for sure.
We own an IKEA wooden fold-down table, but we just haven't found it practical enough to install.
Yeah,
so if we ever do, I guess we could put it somewhere, probably on the wall over there.
Yeah, I mean, it could happen, but we're just not. We just don't care, and we're not, like, really big eaters. Like,
we eat small snacks.
Yeah, we're
like I guess all the time.
Yeah,
I don't know. We snack.
I don't eat meat, so, like, I'm not, like, prepping, like, really big, giant meals, and he does eat meat, but I don't cook it, so it's not like we have, like, huge, you know, portions of food.
Tons of food that we're having to put on a table.
Yeah.
So it works out.
So yeah, it just works for us, and that's what you have to find works for you. So, that was all of the questions.
Yeah, they were good questions.
Yeah, they were awesome questions.
And there were probably more that we missed.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we can get to everybody in the comments and respond. Hopefully we've already responded to most of your questions.
Yeah. And if there's anything that we didn't cover and you would like to see covered, just comment below. Subscribe if you want to see more videos from us.
Thanks to all of our subscribers. I think we have like 800
already. That's
cool.
Awesome, and I feel like we haven't really had a lot of content yet. So subscribe below, and then we also have an Instagram account, Tiny House Tiny Land. So feel free to follow us there, and I guess we'll see you next time.